What's up, guys? Studfit here. We have another episode of The Rundown. I'm also joined again by Antilev. Thanks for joining us, Antilev.
Hey, guys.
And I will say, Antilev was so many comments, so much love for last time Antilev was on. And so I'd love, as we go forward, to Antilev to be on our unofficial co-host. And I think we'll have some other co-hosts join us. I know we have a contest here in November here for the multiplayer Mondays, and whoever scores the most over the course of the month gets to join as a host on the rundown. So be sure to look out for that in December. But other than that, our goal is really to have Antilev and have his analysis brought in, and it's always good to have people smarter than myself to join me because that makes me look better too. So I appreciate you joining us, Antilev.
A's higher A's, right?
So what do you think about the tour, man? We have a space tour. We are going outside of our ozone. What are your thoughts, man?
I really like it. I like the new tracks. I like the new items. I love the theme. It looks like this one's going to be super high scoring. I'm seeing some projected ACR cutoffs, like 1.7, 1.8 million for top 10 maybe. It's crazy. We have Cup, which somebody might get 60k average on. People use the term filler tour a lot whenever there's not like a new retro track, or even sometimes when there is, but for me I don't think it's a filler tour. I think it's great.
I love it, man. Yeah, we'll get into a little bit about the items and everything like that. I'll say that me personally, I keep pretty low expectations. I just enjoy the fact that this is a evolution game, meaning that every 2 weeks we get something new and we get things change over time. It's not like a boring game that you'd get at GameStop as a kid and you'd get tired of playing after a week or two. Like this is an ongoing game. I'm loving this game. So many people in the community love this game, and I don't see this game going away anytime soon. So we have an awesome community. If you feel that same way, that you love this game and you love this the community and you still feel like it's thriving, come join us. Our member community is growing. We have 2 new super studs. ThisBeChris just upgraded, and I can't wait to have him and his mustache on a Kart Talk here soon. Princess LadyRain, I don't think we've met yet, but would love to have you in the Discord and join us on Kart Talk as well. I just think from this perspective, our community is growing and is having so much fun. I was thinking back, we got into maybe not we, but I got a little silly mood. Made a couple Tabor screenshots of Tabor Swift and Tabor Todd, and we had so much fun this past week. So I don't know if you feel kind of stagnant and how you're enjoying this game, come join our community. We have a blast, and hopefully you can join us at least for multiplayer Mondays. All right, we got the space tour, as we were alluding to. You asked me how I felt, and I said, hey, I think every time that we have a new tour, I get pumped, I get excited. We got new items. This Space Pipe 1, it's got some interesting items, which we'll get to here in a second. 6% odds. But I think the main piece is that we actually have some new items. These aren't like reskinned. I know Mario alts are never really too glamorous, but he's got Lucky 7. So it always raises the question of, should I pull? Should I pass on this pipe? It's tough because we just got out of a 3-way celebration. But also, last tour didn't have that many great pipes, in my opinion. So there might be some surplus of rubies. Let's talk about, first, before we get any further along, Mario, Saddle of You. What are your thoughts? Did you pull for Mario?
So I did a couple of 10 pulls on this pipe. I got the Karts. I didn't get Mario. When you see a new Lucky 7 driver, you think, okay, I want him. He's going to be good skill. He starts with 9 tracks. Looking into the coverage, he's got all 4 of the 3DS Rainbow Road variants. These all are coin box tracks. 2 of them have pink, gold, peach, so pretty much everyone has those covered already. One of them, I think, is King Bob-omb and a couple of others. And the other one, Rainbow Road R, is Party Time, Pauline, and Vacation Peach unlocks it at 6, so that may be the most interesting of the 4 for him. But honestly, for a developed account, those are not useful tracks. He also shares one track with Ninja Shaiga. So if you have him,
the DK Summit R, I believe.
That is DK Summit R, and this is a pretty easy 200 action track with, I think, Boomerang or Lucky 7. And another track he has, he shares with the new Yellow Bitcrew Toad. And that is...
Is it Cheap Island R?
Cheap Island R.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and I would say with Giant Banana on a level 7 triple capped super, which is more or less equal to a level 7 single capped high end, you would basically need to have him double capped before you start to provide some kind of advantage there. So immediately 6 of his 9 tracks are not interesting for me. And even from a free-to-play account, I don't have Ninja, but it's still not that interesting for me. The 3 tracks where he does have really good buffs on, or buffs, I don't know. DK Summit, no other plus skill driver there. That's really nice. RMAX Vanilla Lake 1R, I think it's also no other plus skill driver there. Or, let's see. Well, and he's got the new track, the RMX Rainbow Road 2RT, which I think, is that one Holidays you got? Or
that one I'm not as familiar with, but yeah, I will say while you're on the topic of DK Summit, that is one where I do really, I think all the DK Summits are probably the best track for Lucky 7, mainly because you can kind of control, if you're in first place, you need to get down to 7th, you can just go do a couple ramp jumps and kind of hit those half pipes back and forth until you're back in 7th. I mean, there aren't very many tracks where I would highly recommend going for a double Lucky 7 frenzy type of run, but this one, knowing that a Lucky 7 plus driver, that frenzy would be more actions than a coin frenzy, and higher points there. I think that's great, but you bring up a great point, is that most of these DK Summits, it's easy to get 200 actions. So I think one of the initiatives in 2000, in this third year of the game, is I do want to do a better job of explaining to newer players what this means, because I think we have a very strategic channel, but I think that always it's good to kind of bring in some of these new viewers and kind of explain things that we might already be familiar with. So anytime you're getting action counts of 200, that's where the bonuses and everything drop off. So I think I did a calculation of 20 actions between 180 and 2,000. I'm sorry, and 200 actions is something in the realm of like 2,000-3,000 points. But if you after 200, to go from 200 to 220 action count, it only brings you a couple hundred, maybe 1,000 points. So there is a point of diminishing return. And so whatever those points are, don't worry about that. Just know that there is a point of diminishing return at 200 actions. So if you're going for ranked or you're going for all cup ranking, if there's a track you already have 200 actions on, don't worry about too much about getting those additional actions above 200. Move on to another track for all cup ranking, or move to another track for ranked. Because if you're going to be putting a lot of attention. I know I even jumped on a chat yesterday with Stanler, and he's like, I got 240 action count, but I got second place. I'm like, dude, don't worry about going back at it, because those 40 actions are going to well make up for, getting in second place. And then you're not really going to, even if you got 250 actions, but you got first place, it's probably going to be very similar to just getting first place and 200 actions there. So just don't stress out about getting to over 200 actions. If you only have so much time to play the game, which I know I'm catching myself in that area, just go for 200 actions. So to your point, to go full circle on DK Summit, hey, maybe you're just getting a Lucky 7 coin, getting your 200 actions and moving on. So maybe it's not as important to really stress getting that double Lucky 7. But certainly good points. Whereas, say this Vanilla Lake might actually be his best track, because it's really hard to get 200 actions on that track because it's such a short track. So if there's not another high skill driver, that might be his best track. But definitely take a look. It's been one that we've had around for a long time, but for whatever reason, I just don't see it that often anymore. It used to be, year one, we used to see it all the time, but it has been a while. Sorry to cut you off if you were going to continue about Mario Salaview, but what else do you have to add to that?
No, it's the new Vanilla Lake, the new RMX.
Oh yes. Okay. So it's a little bit longer. How do you feel about 200 actions? Is that still pretty high for that track? Then.
I don't think you can get 200 actions with. Let's look at the action count target from the ACR spreadsheet.
And for those of you who didn't know Antilev before bringing him on, he actually was the one who built the action heat map. It was an idea that I had and brought out to the community, and Antilev took it and took that dream, the idea into fruition. So thank you for focusing on that, Antilev. I think the community really loves that aspect. So what's to say there for the new remix?
So for remix Vanilla Lake 1R, the base action car target is 160, and there are no other plus skill drivers on this track. No Giant Banana, no Lucky 7, no Boomerang, and no Coin Box. So with this new Mario, you can probably get to 180 or even 200. So that's I think quite a nice buff.
So you got 2 tracks that he's useful. The rest maybe not so much. We'll see what future tours come in the way of buffs, but hopefully that kind of gives you a good breakdown. So with all that being said, Antilev, are you gonna keep pulling for him?
Okay, before I say that yes or no, I want to go actually a little bit into the background, because a lot of people are like, what is this Satellaview? Carlos on the stream was saying I don't like the name. It sounds like it should be a girl's name. It sounds weird. I don't know. In the 1990s, Nintendo introduced something called Satellaview. It was a sort of like modem add-on for the Super Famicom, which is like their version of the SNES. And you could like download stuff. It was pretty niche. It was only in Japan. And the only and the ads for it had this Mario in the spacesuit as their like little mascot. So that's where it comes from. And then he was, of course, in Odyssey as like an Odyssey uniform. But yeah, I mean,
so
it's just
cool.
I think it's some really interesting. You can actually go and see the old commercials. They're like posted on YouTube and stuff from this. It was pretty wild to see it. That was quite funny. Am I gonna pull for him? I've done 3 10 pulls, and I got the cart, which is what I really wanted, because I like big hitboxes. I don't know. I'll see. If I do it, it will be at the end of the tour. I'm not. The last Lucky 7 driver we had, I think, was Peach Happy.
Yeah.
And she has been a bit of a letdown. I did put a few tickets on her. I pulled her once, and then I invested like I think 4 tickets to get her to level 4, and she's been okay, but it's always such a gamble with these Lucky 7 drivers, because they need to get tracks where there's no coin box, where there's no it's like a bit of a minefield. So I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe I'll get it later, but I also want to save rubies, so I'll see. On my free-to-play account, I'm definitely not pulling.
Yeah, it's a good point. Peach Happy came out the gates hot. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I liked a lot of her tracks that she initially got, but since then, I'm with you. I haven't really been a big fan of those tracks. Now, my personal strategy, everyone's strategy is a little different, but my personal strategy with Lucky 7s, I'm just so focused on coin boxing and triple uncapping them. I think I'm up to 5 now. I'm looking forward to getting a Santa Bowser triple uncapped next time we get the driver tickets. I think I got like 7, so I'm not too concerned. I know I'll be able to get it hopefully by the time that we get to a Christmas tour or whatever. But that is my goal, is to triple uncap the Coinbox drivers. For the Lucky 7 drivers, I'm only going 7,980. My goal is to not double uncap the Lucky 7. For me, that is kind of the way that I'm able to save these 5 tickets at a time. And the reason I came to that thought process is that I did double uncap Lakitu Party Time, Nabbit, and to be honest with you, I kind of regret it because I would if you gave me the option, could I have those 2 sets of 5 cap tickets and use them together to take Bowser, Santa to triple uncap right now? I would take you up on a heartbeat, mainly because I just don't use them as often as I thought I would be, and since I double uncap them, they've kind of just slowly lost a couple tracks here and there to different coin boxers. So I think when it comes to the one or two tracks I use for All Cup ranking for them, or the one or two tracks I use for another Coinbox driver, for me and my goals and what I use in the game, my strategy is to triple uncap all my Coinbox drivers and keep all my Lucky 7 drivers at 7,980. Right now I have been double uncapping my Boomerang drivers. I don't think I will triple uncap them at this point, but that's how I'm assessing it. I'm not looking at names. I'm not looking at too much into the coverage. I'm just kind of making a blanket rule for me, because there is an end game where we eventually could have all the Coinbox drivers triple uncapped. I want to get there first. I don't care if I'm overlapping and I'm triple uncapping and losing a couple tracks. I have no hesitation about that, because Coinbox is king. If there's going to be a Coinbox on there, I'm going for it. Do you have kind of a similar perspective, or how do you approach cap tickets when it comes to skill?
In party time, Pauline?
Well, I have her at 980, so she's the only one that I still have. In fact, I might even have Hakama at 980 at this point, but I'm less worried about them. Which actually, that'll be this is a good time to announce. We actually have a Driver of the Week segment that hopefully we'll be doing each week. This upcoming, and the first initial Driver of the Week will be Mario Hakama. So maybe even we'll find out if I kind of change my tune and throw some tickets on him. But I know he's actually been one that's surprisingly had a late bloomer increase in value. But I think at this point in time he's one of those that we're very, very familiar with, and good to kind of review now at this point. So yeah, good question. Pauline Party Time still at 980 at this point.
Yeah. So for me, I don't really triple cap things. I'm going for full coverage double capped. I want to have every track covered with a level 6 or 7 double capped gyro car or glider. So I prefer to save my tickets and kind of spread them out. I'm getting a bit to the point now where I have some cap tickets saved, and maybe if I'm gonna do like a hard run at ACR, I will triple cap some Coinbox drivers. I have one triple capped item from high ends in the whole game, and that's Ninja Shy Guy, because he's got amazing coverage, he's got an amazing skill, and I felt like the time was just right. I really like boomboxing as well, so but that being said, as a rule, I don't triple cap stuff, but I'm also, I think, a bit behind where you are as far as collecting the cap tickets. I took a break for 5 months in the middle of 2020. When I came back to the game, they had increased the max tier to 50, and I had gone down to 33. So I was 17 tiers behind top, and so trying to catch up, I also got lower numbers of cap tickets, and I'd also missed out from when cap tickets were introduced. So I don't quite have and it's one of those things where you can whale levels and you can whale most stuff in the game, but cap tickets you absolutely cannot. Those are basically a fixed quantity.
Well, good. Any other feedback from these other new items, these maybe these meteors?
Yeah, so I thought they're all pretty standard starts. 8 tracks, pair of unlocks at 3, a pair of unlocks at 6. I was thinking let's have a look at the overlap and see if they're interesting for you or not. The Lunar Cruiser has got a nice big hitbox. It drives really nicely. I think later we're going to talk about the hitbox on this thing. Yeah. Is that correct? So maybe we'll leave that for a while, and I'll just go over to the
let's talk about the
overlaps.
Yeah.
Yes. So Lunar Cruiser has 4 overlaps at level 1. And level 6 with Comet Tail. It has 3 with Rambi Runner, and has 3 with Black Turbo Birdo. It has 3 with a few others like Gold Egg, Gold Clanky Cart, Gold Cheap Snorkel, but those are not. I'm talking about the carts are more popular, what people more have invested into. So if you have a high level Comet Tail, Rambi Runner, or Black Turbo Birdo, this one might not be that interesting for you, at least on its starting coverage. Going to the gliders, the Meteor balloons, they have an overlap with the Galaxy glider first, but the Glinting glider has an overlap of 4 tracks with the Meteor balloons. The new Golden Wings, Gold Tanuki parafoil, and Silver Surfmaster all overlap with 3. Let me go check for the other ones because I have changed the filtering. Pink Gold Meteors have overlap with Starry Great Sail 5 times. Starry Great Sail is the ACR King this tour. I think it's used 13 times on ACR. So Pink Gold Meteors has 5 overlaps with Starry Great Sail, and then it has 3 overlaps with 8-bit Fireflower, Black Tobian balloons, the Gold Homefield glider, regular Homefield glider, and Polka Dot Manta glider, and also the new Galaxy glider. So if you have any of those, maybe you would think twice about buying that pack. And then finally the new Galaxy glider, which is coming as a non-spotlight in a special pipe. From its 8 starting tracks, it overlaps with Meteor balloons as before. Silver Surfmaster 4 times, Starry Great Sail 3 times, Snow Crystals 3 times, Planet glider 3 times, and the regular Manta glider 3 times, and a few others that are not quite as popular. Have a look at your own inventory. That can maybe help you decide if these are interesting for your account. And this is the starting coverage. We don't know how they're going to turn out, but like back in the Kamek tour, the Silver King, I think it was an upgrade for me immediately on 6 tracks where I didn't have good coverage for. So it was like, okay, this looks cool. I predict it's going to be good, but it's also immediately good for me. So that was sort of a no-brainer there, for example.
Good, man. I mean, honestly, the Pink Gold Meteors, we'll kind of get when we get to packs, but I think that's going to be the one that's going to be obviously the most paywalled. But Meteor Balloons, Lunar Cruiser, if you're able to go into that week 1 pipe, that's going to be, a probably one that it's icing on the cake or gravy on top of that Mario. But I think the main one we'll have, and I think most commonly after this tour is all over, is going to be the Galaxy glider. So we'll see. Sounds like it shares a lot of overlap with those other items that are in that special pipe, which we'll get to here in a little bit. Let's jump into the Lunar Cruiser. We kind of talked a little bit about that hitbox, and so Curtis does this every tour. He's meaning that he has to get the cart and then do his algorithm and do his calculations. But these are the top, because I honestly, as soon as the tour came out, I checked my inbox and on Discord, and I had probably 12 people ping me about the hitbox of this Lunar Cruiser. And it's a pretty wide hitbox. Now, it's a very unique hitbox. It's very squarish, but and it's got these kind of side little, I don't even, I guess maybe they're some kind of like, I don't even know.
Solar panels,
are they antenna or solar panel? I don't know what they are, but they kind of jut out a little bit, so maybe it kind of gives that a little bit more of that wider hitbox. But if you think about where it stacks up compared to, is just under the Tricksters. So, kind of going in order, you have all of these off-roaders. Then you have my Batmobile at number 2 spot. Then you got the Sunny Surf Sailor. I believe that's what it is. But it's the one that has the little chunkier, wider wheels, which does it. You have to remember, it does actually have a different hitbox than what we thought the original reskin of it was. Then you have these crawly carts right there behind it, with the Banana Master right behind that, the Painter, and then here's, I think, just the regular Surf Sailor. And then you have all these Mark IIs, a lot of Mark IIs. Again, that's why I really loved, looking back, that was one of my favorite pipes from this year, was the Mark II pipes that we had there. That was so much fun. And again, I think at the time we were like, man, this is overwhelming. But looking back, it was like, all brand new items there, along with, a driver and such a great hitbox. If they made a trash hitbox, I probably wouldn't have gotten as excited about it. But look at all those cars there. It's crazy. They're like, that's kind of like where I'm setting that the benchmark of like Mark II or higher is kind of like what I consider like massive hitbox, and then the Mark, like just below the Mark II, starting with the Cactex and down, are still large but not massive. So, we have these Cactex and Cactar and Cactice. We have the Comet Tail, the Tricksters, and then the Lunar Cruiser. So, big hitbox, not massive. What are your thoughts on the hitbox? I guess you have it. So have you driven around?
Yeah, a bit. It drives nice. I like it. I'll wait and see what the coverage is, and if it ends up being useful for me, I could see myself investing in it. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think this pipe was actually pretty popular because people like this Mario ult so much. So yeah, I feel like Nintendo wants to buff the ones that are a bit like not as. I mean, like the original B-Dasher Mark II was in that Racer Mario pipe, which was the first tour of the 1.5 anniversary. So I think a lot of people passed on that one, and it ended up being really good. I don't know. I usually wait until like the third or fourth tour, which a new item is around, to kind of make a decision one way or the other. Is this going to be for me or not? I very rarely invest in items right away, but the size-wise, it's nice. I like it.
Yeah, I'm at a point where I was able to get Mario in 4 10 pulls, and I got the Meteors, but I didn't get the cart. To be honest with you, I'm probably going to leave the cart in there. I'm not going to keep pulling just for a cart, and I think that's like a mentality. It's been weird, man. They've totally shifted our opinion. We've gone from a position of, hey, I don't need carts. There's so many carts. There's too many carts. To now, like we go in for carts. Like you think about the Silver King. We think about the Rumby Runner. We think about the Black Cat Cruiser. We see all these carts. For whatever reason, there's kind of been a little cart hype. Which is cool, but I think from my perspective, I still need to kind of go back to that old mentality, which is like, guys, I'm never going to be without a top shelf cart option, and so do I need this cart? Is it worth saving those rubies and just holding on to it? I would much rather go into the special pipe and get some more gliders. But solid points there, Antilev. I appreciate that. As we go through the non-spotlights. Nothing new added to the drivers, the carts. There was a new addition to gliders, though. Sunset balloons now permanent in these 100 pipes, and I would assume also for the all clear pipe as well. A beautiful set of clouds there, so exciting to see that happen. As for this week 2, 9 spotlights for a total of 12% odds. You got some nice items here. You got the Zoom Broom coming back. That's pretty cool. The Comet Tail, obviously, we talked about its hitbox. Some of these items, though, we've seen a number of different times. The Head Honcho we've seen many times. This Aurora, we've seen her many times. But a couple items that these the Planet Glider, although it hasn't been in that many pipes. We did have it in, and I think it was a premium challenge or something like that. So it gave people that were interested in that be able to get it. It's a fine glider, but again, I don't think it's necessarily going to be the number one thing I would go into this pipe for. I think some people might, who are big Rosalina fans, could go in here and be very, very happy to just double down on all their gear here for Rosalina. I think the Fire Rosalina would be the driver that some people might be most interested in. But what are your thoughts on this week 2 pipe?
So this is a 12% pipe, which is nice. We don't see those that often. At first I was like, okay, this actually looks pretty cool. I would say 4 good items or 5 good items rather, and like 4 bad or mediocre items.
Not trash. That's what you're saying.
And, well, I mean, that's a matter of opinion, of course. All the carts are good in one way or other. Head Honcho is great coverage, even though it's very small. Zoom Room is, we talked about it last time. It is what it is, but it keeps getting buffed and it keeps being in ranked. I mean, it's really a star for my free-to-play account, even if it's very irritating to play with. And Comet Tail has all the, if part of your game is just going for AC records on the 3GS Rainbow Road tracks, you should have Comet Tail because it has all of them. It's a cool card. It's a big hitbox. It doesn't have the absolute widest coverage, but it's still a really nice card. And yeah, from the drivers, Yeah, Rosalina Aurora, like 10 for aesthetics, 1 for usefulness. Fire Rosalina is useful, but I think a bit of that comes from like ranked usefulness. So I'm not sure how much that will hold up going into the future, but for right now, she is a useful driver in that sense. Rosalina Halloween is like, yeah, I mean, I feel like as far as the fans in the game, you've got the Rosalina fan group is one of the biggest, so they don't really need to make the Rosalina drivers that good for people to pull for them. For the gliders, the only one I would be interested in here is the Rose Parasol. That's something I invested in very early, and it is by far been one of the most useful items on my account. I have it level 7 though, so I won't be pulling for that. And on my free-to-play account, I would love to get it, but I think going into 100 pipe I have 2 of the 5 good items. I have the head honcho and the zoom room, and the other 3, really only the Rose Parasol would be something that I would like really want. And I'm not going to go into 100 pipe on my free account for one item. Unless it's a coin box driver, and Bowser Claus may be right around the corner, and I really want him on my free to play, so I will continue to save the rubies. So it's mixed. I think it's probably when Tabor does his pipe ratings, it will come out as a top third or top quarter pipe, just to the odds and the decent quality items in there. But I don't think I'll be going into it on either account.
Yeah, if I said the same thing you just said with less words, it's I'm passing on this pipe. I'm not a big fan. I think this it's great. It's great that it's nice odds, but it's about on a 10-point scale a 3 for me. I think if they didn't have the zoom brim, it'd probably be a 2 for me. I'm just not. None of these items are getting me too excited. I've had other opportunities to get some of these items, and the ones I don't have, I've been sleeping very fine. Not having those items up until now. I don't think I have Fire Rosalina, and I could go the rest of my Mario Kart Tour life without having it. I think I'll be fine. As for a pipe I really do like, this Blue Glides special pipe, 30 pipe. What are your thoughts here, Antilev?
You go first.
I'll tell you why I like it. And I think this everything I'm about to say could be followed up with a hashtag whale problems, but I think for a whale account, we've already kind of figured things out, in many cases. For me, in a lot of situations, I kind of make a pretty hard line in the sand. If it doesn't have coin box, I'm probably not going to go for it. Probably not going unless I really I went in for Mario Baseball and a couple other obscure ones just for my own entertainment. But if I was really kind of playing things strictly to strategy, I wouldn't pull on those pipes at all. I would only go for coin box, maybe only for a couple lucky 7s and boomerangs, maybe triple banana, giant banana, etc. But really, I can only invest in coin box. A good example, had a guy in ranked, and I actually really admired his strategy. He literally only had coin boxes and lucky 7s and had a couple obscure other drivers, but that's like all that person had, and that's all he invested in, and everyone else was level 1. And honestly, he probably spent less in the game than I did, and he had probably an equal account when it came to that respect. So I think he got top 100. He got top 10 in the Kamek tour. So I think there's a great way to play and not even be a true whale. Just going for coin box drivers, just going for lucky 7 drivers, boomerang, and some of these bananas. But I think the other aspect of it is there's so many carts that it's hard to keep up with. That's why I got excited kind of about these carts. But if you miss out on a cart, it's not that big of a deal. There's so many. They typically put in so many, and they're all kind of equal. The points don't really matter. So as long as you have a good one and you're looking at the spreadsheet and you're covering your coverage, you're fine there. Now the thing is for gliders is that they're really unique in that they're probably roughly equal to the number of drivers. But if we have a hard time sometimes getting these glider tickets, and so leveling up gliders can be very, very difficult. At least for me, that's where I have the most problem. There's you could argue for carts as well. I think it's harder to max and get them up. But I feel like I can get like 1 or 2 up, a tour to like 6 and have coverage. I don't ever have a problem with that coverage too much. But for whatever reason, gliders, I just feel like maybe that top shelf is just a little thinner, and that I don't have the tickets, and so I'm just kind of sitting around with like a lot of level 3, a lot of level 4, and that's the case for this pipe. I have, I think, the Blizzard balloons at a high level, maybe 6, maybe 7, and everything else I have at like level 4, level 3, level 5, and so I'm excited about getting these all up to level 6, level 7. I'm pretty stoked about this pipe. In fact, I have, I think, 800, 900 rubies that I'll be going into this pipe, so if you'd like to see me go into it on Sunday morning, what I love about it the most, and we always are looking forward to glider pipes, is that it's a 30 pipe, meaning that you can really box out the bottom of that pipe and kind of leverage the quantity of that pipe really well to your advantage. So you could do 110 pull, 210 pulls, and some singles, and walk away with 3 gliders every single time you're doing that. Since there's no spotlights, there's no sense in necessarily waiting for a specific item. You could just basically beat the pipe, and I like to beat the pipe. That's where this channel originated from. The only other thing I'll say in addition to that, and I think this might be the only caveat I have to all the excitement I just described, is that these gliders aren't that great. I think there was a lot of hype for, I have no idea why, the snow crystals. So many people got excited about the snow crystals. A lot of people took it to level 7 immediately. I think it is because we've had some really dominant green shell pipes. Green shelled gliders, mainly because I think Nintendo tries to compensate for how terrible of a skill it is. But, and like, hey, this is a coin glider, so we're only going to give it this much coverage and kind of treat it like a coin box. And then, hey, this has terrible skill, we'll give it the most coverage. And that's kind of what they've done in the past, except for snow crystals has just not been that valuable. I know that I'm going to get some hate in the comments, but really, if you look at it and you look at its coverage and you are unbiased and you actually take a realistic view of the snow crystals, it's not that great of a glider. And really, none of them are that great. Blizzard Parasol obviously being around for a long period of time, but man, the polka dot manta glider I think is the coolest looking of them all. It's probably even the coolest looking of all of the manta gliders, so I absolutely love the way it looks. If I can get it to level 7 and get an opportunity to double uncap it, I'm all for it, man. It looks super cool. What I think is really interesting is that whether it's this pipe or other pipes, you also have look at all, they're all like winterish related, even though it's hypothetically a planet or a space type of tour. It's not an ice tour, but they're all kind of ice related, and I'm sure their coverage reflects that. And so I think it's a great time to stock up on gliders, get them to a high level literally right before the winter. We are if you remember last year, we had kind of a like holiday tour, and then we had like a snow tour, and then kind of going into a New Year's tour, and then we still kind of had some winter stuff, and then we even had then of course we had a frost tour in the middle of the summer. Not sure why that happened, but I think that we are preparing for what could be a lot of tours with a lot of ice and a lot of snow and a lot of positions where these gliders at a high level could be extremely useful. So I'm glad you let me go first. I could get all of that off of my chest. But Antilev, did I leave anything else for you to mention about this pipe?
No, I mean, I think we in the community have been crying out for a 30 glider pipe for a long time. The last one we had was, I believe, the Starry glider pipe, and that is a year ago or so already. This is not what we wanted. I think a lot of people were talking about like an 8-bit pipe that would have been sick, or some other things, but these gliders are all just like okay. It's interesting. Snow crystals, polka dot manta, snow crystals, blizzard balloons, blizzard parasol. All 3 have exactly 16 top shelf non-cities. Polka dot manta glider has 15. That's not terrible, but it's also not great. I especially feel bad for the polka dot manta glider because it's like the middle child of the mantas. Regular manta has 21 non-cities. Silver manta is 20. non-cities, and it's in ranked a lot. And then Polka Dot, it was the last one to come out, but it did not get the same love as his brothers. I don't know. I am gonna pull this reluctantly, not because I think it's a really great pipe, because one on my list for upgrades is Blizzard Balloons, which is a very old item. It's not that great, but it fits into my coverage, and I have it level 6 and like I think 1/5 or 2/5, and I want to get it to level 7, and so I can double cap it. But I'm not excited about this pipe. I mean, when I saw there was a 30 glider pipe, I was like, okay, cool. And then I looked at the gliders and I was like, okay, sure.
Solid points, man. I think in general it's going to be a good pipe to just pull on a little bit. If you need to save, though, for Bowser Santa, I can completely understand not pulling on it for that coverage that you just mentioned. For me and for most whales, this is going to be a great pipe to just max stuff out just for sheer pleasure. I think, as I look at 800, 900 rubies, I'll be looking to hopefully get 12 high ends, 13 high ends when it's all said and done. So we'll see how it goes. I love 30 pipes. It's been a while since we've had them, and absolutely love them.
Yeah, and I would just say just one other thing, like from a free to play perspective, like just take a really good look at your coverage. And I'm in a situation now with my free to play account where I have a lot of level 1 gliders and no tickets, and getting more new level 1 gliders is not really helping anything. So yeah, I'm almost at a point where I would want to pull for glider dupes instead of new coverage. Unfortunately, none of these gliders really are ones that I don't have any of them, but they don't add anything for me as well. So
for those new players, just kind of want to put this out there. In the past, and feel free to check out some of my old pull videos. The items that were in these, newer items that were released in these glider pipes, have been extremely powerful in the past. I think the Silver Starshoot, I think, was originally released in one of these glider special pipes, and this has been an absolute monster. So I'm just letting you know, if you get this Galaxy glider and you have to throw some early tickets on it, I think go for it. That's one where I don't think there's any hesitation. Giant, don't think too much about the giant mushroom. I just think it's these gliders in the past, when they're released brand new, especially non-spotlights, in these glider pipes, in whether the carts or gliders, whatever, they've always had beast value. So if you have to throw some early tickets on it, go for it. That's the one that you want, though, for sure. All right, now getting into the packs, we have coming off of last tour, you might be licking your wounds from how many packs there were. I don't mind these packs. These are actually pretty fun packs. You got the Gold Shy Guy in the 45. Anytime you have a driver in a 45, especially if you can get a driver point ticket, that's always fun too. But getting drivers in these packs are always, in my opinion, always great value, because a driver is worth essentially worth 2 carts, or worth a cart and a glider. Just even think about even the coins you would get back in return. So I think from that perspective, now he doesn't have a great skill, so I get that. May not even be. I think if you had none of these items at all, the best one would be the PGP pack with the pink gold meteors. However, most people already have her level 7, so I think that really hurts her value. We'll get into All Cup ranking, but the Starry Glider is by far, for me, the one I consider to be the most valuable for my account. It'll be definitely one I get 3 times, and it's going to help out for All Cup ranking. It's one of those gliders that we've seen rise in the top 10 here recently, and for All Cup ranking, it's going to be a beast. Gliders are really hard to level up, in my opinion, based on access to that in your daily selects. From the data we have collected, I think it's pretty sound that the glider tickets are the most rare, and so leveling those up are always great. This is a great glider, so to me that's the most valuable. Similar thing to the Pink Gold Peach, whether it's Dry Bones Gold or Pink Gold Peach. I think these two packs are really trying to attract the the relatively new players that happen to be whales. Is, hey, you probably already wanted this, and maybe you saw in ranked it was there, and now you want it. Here are these Coinbox drivers. But for me, it's a big turnoff. I will say the pack I definitely will be not getting is that Gold Dry Bones. I have that at level 7, and then this decal. I think this is the decal Streamliner. Already have that, so I'm not too worried about leveling that up. I did get this Pink Gold Peach pack once just to get the Meteor, and just have it at level 1. But and then I think I got the Shy Guy pack twice to get it to level 6. I'll probably get the Starry Gliders 3 times, and that's going to be it. Call it a day. But what are your thoughts on those packs?
Yeah, I have more or less the same opinion as you. The Starry Great Sale is awesome. The rest are a bit like meh. I mean, the Pink Gold Peach and Pink Gold Meteors pack is cool, but like, okay, I feel like anyone who buys 90 ruby packs has her at level 7 already. So essentially, they are charging us a 90 ruby banner for a new glider. So I don't really like that. So yeah, really the only one I'd be interested in is the Starry Great Sale, if any. Yeah, I already have Gold Shy Guy at level 6 on my main, so I think that's enough for him. I think he's useful on like 1 or 2 tracks. But yeah, I more or less have the same opinion as you.
Cool. Yeah, if I had to stack rank them, just taking Whale's opinions, Gold Pass only or Gold Pass Plus opinions, and kind of everyone's opinions. I put the Starry Glider at number 1, maybe the Shy Guy Gold at 2, and then Pink Gold Peach at 3, and then finally 4 would be the decal Dry Bones Gold. As for the premium challenge,
would you go so far as to say the Starry Great Sale is a stud?
I'd say if I was forced to give a title, I would definitely give it a stud. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. And if I had to give the little fun titles I've been giving them, I'd say the Starry Great Sale would be a stud pack. I think the Gold Shy Guy would be a collector stud, and then I'd put the Pink Gold Peach as a brand new whale. Welcome to the Whale Club. I'd give the Dry Bones Gold as a hard dud. Hard dud for sure. Premium challenge, I give this one a super stud as well. This Black Turbo Birdo. You might have it at level 7 just because it's been screaming for all your tickets, but a phenomenal cart. There's no doubt about that. It's got a sub-small, or I guess a smaller than medium-sized cart hitbox. However, literally in every other category, it's like a top 3. I mean, we're talking about the coverage when it comes to how much other top items it shares with it. It's got, now I will say its skill isn't even that great, but like Slipstream is what it is. I mean, those points don't really make a huge difference, but like literally every other category, top 3. So highly recommend if you do not have it and you've been holding off for some reason getting these premium challenges, but you say, you know what, I got some birthday money, got some babysitter money, you might just throw it on this cart. It's gonna do you well. It's well worth booking tickets on it, and I think that's great about carts in general, is that it's good. It's so valuable to get once, because then you can throw tickets on it. Whereas we're so focused on leveling up our Coinbox drivers and so many others. I tend to have a hard time leveling up these carts, but if I can get it once, I'm golden, man. I'll just keep pumping them. So might be good to get and pump. Thoughts on the Black Turbo Birdo?
Yeah, this is one of the best premium challenges we've ever had. We usually have some kind of weird old item which is not that useful. This one is great. I don't invest in it on my main just because I don't like the small hitbox, but I pulled this I think 2 tours ago from All Clearpup in my free to play, and I immediately used up all my card tickets on it and double capped it.
Smart.
It's so good for my free to play account. If you don't have it and you this is like a perfect premium challenge for like GPO or a Go Pass only, or like occasional spender. In fact, if you have to, I would rather get this than any of the packs. I think it's the gem of the week of the tour.
Yeah, I never recommend everyone should spend on this game, but this might be one where you maybe borrow a couple dollars from your brother's piggy bank or something and find a way to make this happen, because it is a great cart. Now, I will say, many people are probably going to put a comment, hey, but I already have it. I got it in an all-clear pipe, and if it's in 100 pipes, why should I? Guys, I'm just saying, this is a great great cart. If you can get it up to a higher level, any means possible, it's well worth it, and that's where I'll leave it. Getting into who got buffed, we're now about 50 minutes in. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't yet liked, subscribe, leave us leave any comments. Maybe if you just said, "Hey, Black Turb Roberto is she's not peaking anymore. I don't want to get her." Hey, leave a comment. I read each comment. I may or may not be able to respond, but I always enjoy reading those, even if they're contrary to what I might believe. All right, who got buffed? We have Waluigi Vampire, my boy. Got 3 buffs now, up to 12 non-cities. I like that. 2 cities. Royal Raceway T, though, not a great track. Chaco Mountain R. R is a pretty good one, I believe. I think that's just the one where the regular Dry Bowser was probably the best option for many. Happy there. And then Yoshi Kangaroo. He's got 14 non-city tracks, 10 cities. He's climbing up that valuable rank. You got to really, really like that. I think overall, those are kind of the 2 that stand out to me when it comes to who got buffed, but some other notables, and I'll try to kind of keep some of these shorts. What's interesting is we had 3 super drivers get buffs. I find that really interesting. Yellow Pit Crew Toad, he's got now 7 non-city tracks. 7 non-cities, 0 cities. So that's really nice. They're giving him some good buffs already. I think he's probably going to be the best youth super of the year. I think it's just a matter of time before he passes. What is it? The blue Yoshi? Is that I believe who Tabor had as the top super? I just see this Pit Crew Toad, man. He is this yellow one. He is going to be a beast. He's going to kind of flip some of our thought processes on supers versus high ends. I know he's already starting to do that. You got both of these Tanukis with a couple buffs. Good for them. No cities for either one. That's, I think, the big staggering piece. And then as we move into the drivers who got 1 buff, biggest to stand out to me are Kamek, Peach Happy, and interesting, now we got Penguin Mario now in our top 10. I'm already not looking forward to or cringing reading all the comments about people saying Penguin Mario shouldn't be in the top 10. Honestly, I think the community that's been around for a long time, they knew that he was going to be in the top 10. He was smack dab in between a bunch of great skills, and he had a terrible skill. And I remember all of us taking our crapper 10 pulls and trying to get him because we knew he was going to have some weird top 10 value. We thought he was going to be kind of the new Penguin Toad of this late Q4, but he's got it now. 21 non-city tracks, 4 cities, coming out of nowhere at number 6. I think Kamek continues to rise. He's number 11 on our list now. I think it's a matter of time before he's our number 1 driver in the game. I have no hesitation saying that. I just think it's a matter of time. Peach Happy, as we mentioned, number 10 on our list. 17 non-city tracks, 8 cities. We kind of alluded to her earlier in that she came out the game hot and she's kind of slowed down. But that's really the ones I want to make note of. It's interesting to see that them giving some of these drivers some buffs, things like Shy Guy Gold, Rosalina Halloween. Just kind of odd, but hey, we'll take it. Even Daisy Holiday Cheer. We kind of talked about this really for the last 6 months. When I first talked about it, I believe it was in the spring, I said, hey guys, we're starting to pick up on these seasons, and it looks like what they're doing is that they are pumping the items full of buffs right before the season of which you'll be able to get her. So Daisy Holiday Cheer, she keeps getting buffs after buffs after buffs, only to give you the most hype possible, and then you put her in a pipe, then you drain all your rubies, you get her in that pipe, and then nothing happens to her for 12 months. Like that's or maybe 9 months. That's how this game works, is they give them all the buffs to make them look really attractive, put them in a pipe, and then put them back on the shelf. Once you got her, unfortunately you can't use her. So that's one little trend I wanted to kind of point out. But Antilev, what are your thoughts on the drivers that got buffed?
So I double kept Yoshi Kangaroo this tour. I think this is finally like, okay, 14 tracks is an acceptable level. He's got some really nice buffs. Some tracks where, he's the best option. The only plus skill was a Michel Coindreau driver, so I think his star is really rising. I was disappointed in this tour for Kamek. I know he is rising in the ranking, but he only got one buff. We had 6 returning courses, which he had not seen before, and he only got one buff. So if you add the 2 new tracks, that was 20 potential buffs, and he only got 1, and it's a track which he is sharing with King Bob on Gold. So it's like, okay,
I think there's like, what, isn't there like 3 or 4 coin boxers, or is he's the only one?
No, I think he's the only one. That was the Airship Fortress variant that didn't have a coin box until Gold.
That's right.
Bob got him.
Yeah.
So I'm actually stepping back from my prediction that he'll be the number 1 driver. Now, he still has 11 NRT courses, so 33 tracks plus another 4 RT tracks. So there's still 37 potential buffs, but there are 20 off the board this week. I would have expected him to...
For those new players, explain what that means, because I think that is really important. It's one of those newer trends that I think we've kind of been talking a lot most on this channel. I don't hear it that much in other channels, but I think it's so important. Probably might even be the most important stat when you think about how buffs are evolving.
Sure. And the way that the coverage works in Mario Kart Tour is that a driver car or glider's full coverage is not revealed when it's introduced. It only gets coverage shown for courses that have been in Mario Kart Tour since the introduction of that item. So, for example, in this tour, Tel Mario can only have coverage on the 33 tracks which are in this tour. And as the tours progress and different tracks return, you see whether you get buffs or not. So older drivers will have seen every course, and they don't have opportunities to get. So once a course comes back, then and a certain item does not have that course as a top shelf coverage, it cannot get it anymore. I mean, maybe it could, but they've never done that. That seems to be basically their rule. So older items don't have opportunities for buffs, except for new tracks. And newer items who have not seen all of the tracks in the game yet can still get buffed on tracks that they haven't seen. So when I talk about Kamek still having a buff potential, the courses which he has not seen since his introduction is Bowser's Castle 1, Sheep Lagoon, Kuvich Beach, Calamari Desert, Mario Circuit 2, Toad Circuit, Mario Circuit 3DS, Mario Circuit 1, Neo Bowser City, Rock Mountain, and Vanilla Lake 1. And then each one of those, the N, R, and T version, that's 11 courses times 3 is 33. And then he's got 4 RT tracks, which he also has not seen. So that's 37 potential buffs for him. Yoshi Kangaroo has an additional 4 courses, so he's actually looking at 45 buffs from regulars and another 6 RTs. So Yoshi Kangaroo has 51 potential tracks, returning tracks where he can get buffed. I hope that was not too complicated to follow.
No, I think as we talk about it more, it's going to become less complicated. Just know that as they get exposed to tracks, they now are able to add them to their buffing, and so we have a lot of tracks. But now that Kamek has been available for 4 or 5 tours, maybe even 6 or 7, I've lost track, but he's now running kind of low on tracks to be able to buff them on, which is Kind of scary. It's kind of alarming, but I get it, man. It's now, of course, we will get new tracks, and that's kind of where we see, as Kevin Garrett alludes to, these waves where they do get initial buffs, and then there's kind of a lull, and then all of a sudden, X number of tours later, they get these crazy buffs, and that's when we start to see these great values. And so Yoshi Kangaroo is just right now going through those crazy buffs. We'll see how long that wave lasts. But he's peaking, man.
Yeah, and I'm not saying throw Kamak in the bin. He's got 16 tracks. That's a pretty solid, 16 non-city tracks. That's a pretty solid amount for a Coinbox driver. They generally don't have as many top shelf tracks as non-Coinbox drivers. For example, Pink Gold Peach only has 17 tracks.
Wow.
But she's arguably one of the best Coinbox driver in the game, depending on who you talk to. I still think he's worth investing in. He has that hidden value of being able to be cup boosted. He's cup boosted on this tour.
Yes.
The Kamak Cup, he is middle shelf on 3DS Rainbow Road R. And he is boosted to top shelf. Like, for my free play account, that's great because I don't have a level 6 Vacation Peach. I don't have Vacation Peach at all. And my Party Time Pauline is level 1, so I can use a level 4 Kamek instead. You see this a lot with Pink Gold Peach, and I think you'll see it a lot going ahead with Kamek. I'm just taking my foot a little bit off the Kamek hype train gas. That's all, because his buffs were disappointing. In addition to that, the only thing I would mention is I feel very justified in my decision to triple cap Yellow Toad on both of my accounts. I took him to level 5, even buying tickets from the super tickets from Tier Shop on my free-to-play account. He helped me win ranked. And he's got 2 buffs, and I think he will continue to get buffs, and I think it will be an excellent, like you said, I think he will be the best super driver going ahead. If you got him, put your tickets on him now. It's super tickets. It's not that big of a risk. He will be useful going forward.
You will not regret it. I agree 100%. Go for it. As for the carts that got buffed, there's a lot of them, man. We've got a lot of cart buffing. We'll say this gold pumpkin cart, the most with 4, up to 15 non-city tracks, 1 city. Kind of what we were alluding to earlier when it comes to a new item in a from a special pipe, having some beast value. 15 right off the bat right now with only 1 city. That's really good. It's rare that we see something that new get that many tracks. Now, I will say it doesn't have the great hitbox, and I don't even have it. But it's one of those that it's interesting. We're keeping an eye on it for sure. But like just to kind of put it in comparison, there are a lot of these great pipes that got 3 buffs, and you notice it's a lot of these have 17, 18 tracks as well. So and they've been around for twice as long. So just kind of putting that out there for you to take an analysis on. I will say that there are a lot of Mark II buffs for sure. You have the pink Mark II, the sky blue Mark II get some buffs there. You see yellow off-roader get 3 buffs, black cat cruiser 3 buffs as well. Nothing else too surprising. We'll say this Tanuki cart now up to 16 non-city tracks, 0 cities, to number 13 on our list. That's one that jumped up. I think out of everything that Tanuki will be Tanuki related, this one seems to be having the most surge. We'll see what happens. For carts, just because there's so many, it's probably the hardest top 10 list to break. So to have it at number 13, that's phenomenal for the Tanuki cart. And then you have a couple more Mark IIs getting the 2 buffs. You got the cream and the green and the metal and red, all getting 2 buffs there. Some of these have 15 total tracks. Some of them have 16 total tracks, but it's nice to see them getting buffs. And I think we were all wondering what's going to happen with these Mark IIs. How are the buffs going to work out? I will say the one downside is a lot of them have cities, much higher cities than, let's say, compared to the Zoom Broom, which is our number 3 cart. No surprise there. We love all the Kamek items. I'm not taking my foot off of the gas when it comes to any of these Kamek related items, but I'm not a big fan of this cart, that's for sure. But the value is going to be there. The coverage is going to be there. If you like the way it feels, put tickets on it. It is going to be valuable. Just know that if you haven't tried it, you probably should try it before you put tickets on it. But like, just to kind of compare that to the other items that got 2 buffs, it's got 18 non-city tracks, 5 cities, and literally every other cart up there that got 2 buffs is at least 7 cities, or most of them have 8 or 9. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. You know, that is one of the downsides to these Mark IIs, but I'm okay with it. I'm preparing myself for one day cities being much more common. I'm not necessarily, banking on that, but it's one of those things where I'm just not taking these cities too seriously. And then, of course, the Silver King. I got 18 non-city tracks, 7 cities. Number 5, Antilev, this is your cart. I'm sure you're going to be mentioning something about that when I get done talking about these buffs, because I know how much you love it. As for the carts, they got 1 buff. Probably, what's weird is that I think when all these Mark IIs came out, I think Tabor had alluded to the classic B-Dasher Mark II being the most valuable out the gate, but here it is. It is the only Mark II with 1 buff, and it has 4 non-cities, 11 cities. Arguably the least valuable now. So it just kind of shows you that whatever a new item comes out, just wait and see. You don't have to get. Don't try to read the tea leaves too hard. I think you'll get probably a pretty clear view of what's happening as time goes on. Got a lot of old carts with new buffs. It's really interesting to see how many of them. I know I'm having to use this gold egg for ranked, and I'm not too happy about it. Other than that, I will say the red crawly carts up to 9 non-cities, 2 cities, which is not great for it in my opinion. Versus say like the vampire flyer with 12 non-city tracks, 1 city. I'm waiting for this Batmobile to continue to climb. I feel pretty strong about it one day being a top 10 cart there. But then you got the Dark Trickster at number 11 with 16 on-cities, 6 cities. And that's really all about that I wanted to discuss. We'll say this Blue Turbo Birdo, 5 non-city tracks, 5 cities. I just kind of put some tickets on it. Took it to 6 here recently just because I had the tickets and was having some fun. But what do you think about all these carts? I'm sure you want to start with the Silver King.
I mean, nothing needs to be said, right? It is inevitable.
It is the Silver King. Nintendo loves silver things.
Yeah, it's true. But I mean, yeah, I don't. If I say anything about it, I'm just gonna repeat what I said last week about it. The yellow off-roader got all 3 cheap island variants. I think that's really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, because those are kind of tough tracks to cover. That is a really nice starting buff for that one. Yeah, I like some of these old cards get like buffs, like the Cheer Mellow and the Garrett card, which I don't even have, but it's just funny to see them. Yeah. Not a lot of commentary. I think you more or less nailed it. The Tanuki card is flying under the radar. Let's maybe keep a bit more of an eye on that one. Yeah, and the B-Dashers, I think you just have to take a really wait and see. There's still so many, they came out in a city tour, all started with 8 cities, so they basically started from 0 value. You need to just wait, be patient, and eventually, one of them, maybe not the cream, but one of them will rise to the top. I don't know. We see.
Well, a good example would be, say, I think it's the Sky Blue and the yellow off-roader have the cheap. I believe it's in, maybe it's either the one ranked or maybe the one that has the yellow Pickeroo Toad. And if they're at the same level, I would probably put tickets on the yellow off-roader. I'm with you, man. I think that one's just going to keep. Again, now it's kind of a paywalled cart, so you may not have it at that level, but I think that's the cart to have. That's the cart to buff. I think kind of throw your own tickets on it. And as always, though, especially with carts, just take a look at the BAM and Gerbs. Last thing you want to do is put tickets on something that's going to hold you back. All right, going to the buffed gliders, we have a number of them that got 3 buffs, including this 8-bit Super Mushroom. It got 11 non-city tracks, 0 cities. The Golden Wings, I see that a lot here. People throwing tickets on that. Can't argue with that. Nice to see that going up to 12 non-city tracks, 1 city. The Magic Parasol, up to 12 non-cities, 3 cities. Interesting, that one's already kind of off to a hot start. We'll see what happens. And it's interesting, the ship's wheel, it's got some buffs here too. I was expecting it to kind of break in the top 10, kind of along that same special pipe mantra, but it hasn't. It's kind of been kind of slow. Now, of course, when you look at it, what is it, 22 non-city, or 22 total tracks, it's not bad. But I just think it's just got so much city value. It's unfortunately kind of holding it back. Got the Vampire Wings. I love this one with 13 non-city tracks, 1 city. If you had to throw tickets on it, man, I think it's so cool. I think like all these wings look awesome. But this Vampire, I love all these Vampire items, even though that Waluigi's probably going to be the one shafted the most. We'll see what happens. Silver Surf Master, I really like this glider, but it's been kind of slow as well. The Springtime Crane, number 10 on our list. That's right, it's got 19 non-city tracks, 8 cities. This one is going crazy. If you have to throw tickets on it, I don't think you're going to regret it. Now, it was kind of an obscure pipe, and because it was like summer celebration, even though it said springtime, and it was in a 100 pipe. But if you have it, and you're having to decide between 2 gliders, I think break the tie with that one. It's going to be a phenomenal glider and keep rising up our top 10. If it's already top 10 now, man, I just see it only going up from here as well. Now, it does have some unique coverage you have to take a look at. Look at Bam and Gerbs. There is some items that you might already have overlapping with it. And then to Tanuki Parafoil. Not as excited about this as the other Tanuki items, like the Tanuki Kart. The one thing that stands out here on all of these gliders that got 1 buff is the 8-bit Fire Flower, man. 24 non-city tracks, 6 cities for a total of 30 tracks. Number 1 on our list. We saw it coming. We saw it in our top 10 for months now. I think it's, that and the Dream Glider are probably the 2 that stand out to me. It's interesting you mentioned that the Rose Parasol was really, really valuable for you. It's now up to 28 total tracks, 8 cities there. And then the Star Great Sail up to 27 total tracks, 7 of which are cities. The other thing is, we kind of talked about earlier, the snow crystals not being, if you're honest with yourself, that not being that great of a glider. I mean, there you see it. It's got 17 non-city tracks, 5 cities for a total of 22. That's not that great. I mean, even the chocolate donut has more. Just to kind of put it in perspective. Yeah, that kind of rounds out my analysis of these gliders that got buffed. But Antilev, what are your thoughts?
Dream Glider is still going strong. I can see this one taking over number 1 spot soon, because it came out at the same time as Chemex, so there's still quite some available for it to get. 20 is already an excellent coverage number for a glider, and 8-bit Fire Flower, what can you say? I mean, this is this is the first 30 track cart that we glider that we have had in the game. Black
Great Sail is the only one I would look at, and I could pull that up while you're chatting.
But I think it only has 2 cities or so. But yeah, anyways, I mean, I actually, even without seeing these rankings, I double capped it. I've been playing with the idea for the last 3 or 4 tours, and then it got buffed and it's in ranked. So I thought, okay, I pulled the trigger. Yeah, but and for the rest, yeah, nothing really to say. Yeah, the newer items that got 3 buffs.
Black Great Sail has 31.
Okay, you're right.
So,
all right.
But yeah, I mean, I'm with you, man. That 8-bit Fire Flower, I just took it to level 7. If I had tickets, I would double uncap it. I did just run out though, so I just have it at 7,980. Or sorry, 7. Was it 490? Jeez, I'm like starting to go delirious. There's so many buffs. I'm starting to lose track of starting to go crazy here. So we'll get to the top 10. Nothing too much here. I just will preface this by saying that Angelita's point of view on the top 10, especially when it comes to drivers, are that Coinboxer is king, and the rest of this is more fun. But I thought it was really, really helpful just to kind of preface talking about the top 10 by just saying, just remember, guys, this is in our minds kind of like a power rankings of what's happening right now in the game. In my perspective, these are probably the most likely to be in ranked next tour, if you think about it that way. And again, is Pinkle Peach a better driver to invest in than maybe Penguin Mario? Yeah, probably. But I think if your goal is ranked, your goal is to really just kind of focus on, throwing tickets onto things that are going to help you get more rubies. I mean, I just think that some of these items are going to most likely have a higher likelihood of being ranked. And just, think about it that way. These are like the most powerful items in what Nintendo is wanting to see as valuable. And just kind of take it for what it is. Power rankings, for me, what that meant is, like in watching football, you have a team like, that just lost a star player. They're going to probably go down that power rankings. Or if you kind of beat a big team, you kind of jump up to the top. But it doesn't necessarily mean like that's the best team or the highest likely to win the Super Bowl. But just kind of like this is, how things are going. If you think about college football, you have all these rankings. So they only play so many games, so you don't know what team is actually better than another. Because especially in, say, football, you have one team that could lose to one team one week and then lose and then beat that team the following week, and it's like a week by week game. But it just kind of get some ideas going and lets you kind of see what are some of the hottest items right now and some of the most likely to be in ranked in the next week or two or even tour or two. So with that all being said, Black Birdo holding out number 1. We got Builder Toadette at number 2. Baby Mario Koala at number 3. And if you told me 6 months ago that I was going to have a Birdo variation, a Toadette variation, and a Baby Mario variation in that order in the top 10, I'd say you're crazy. But there you go. These are the stats from the new algorithm that Tabor made a tweak to. I will say, Shy Guy Ninja, you're probably very happy to see it go up 1 spot to number 4 on our list. A very, very solid driver. I think if you have to throw some tickets on something, you don't have it at level 7. He and King Bob-omb Gold would probably be the ones that I would highly recommend. Even Mario Tuxedo, a solid one too. But as we run out the list, Peach Explorer down 1 to number 5. Penguin Mario up 8 spots to number 6. Luigi Painter up 2 spots to number 7. Nice to see that. King Bob-omb Gold unfortunately fell 2 spots. He's just not getting those buffs that we were seeing for so long. And then Mario Tuxedo, one that was really going up our ranks very, very quickly. He might have peaked already. He is down 2 spots at number 9. And then, as we alluded to, Peach Happy up 6 spots. This might be her best position that we ever see. We'll see what happens next tour. I think it's hard to be able to back that up and keep going up more 6 spots. But I think based on her coverage and how many Cheep Islands she has and that being ranked, I think from that perspective, she's seeing some great value right now. But I don't foresee Cheep Island being a part of this winter stuff, some winter tours, holiday tours, etc. But you never know. Nintendo's done, Mario's done us weird in the past, so kind of want to stick that out there. Quebec number 11, you gotta love that. He's gonna break our top 10 here soon. I truly believe that. Donkey Kong Jr. SNES. I will say, he's been the biggest surprise for me. He's been around for so long, so garbage value for so long until just like 6 months ago, and then he has been absolutely on fire. I've been loving using him, especially as triple bananas have been fixed. He's a big fan of the Kong supporters, so gotta show him some love. And then Cat Toad at number 13, Toadette Explorer at 14, and then Dry Bones Gold, probably one of the oldest OGs when it comes to the coin box. He is number 15 on our list. What are your thoughts, Antilev, on the top 10 drivers?
Yeah, not too much, more or less the same as what you have. I would say we're probably getting close to the high watermark for Peach Happy. She doesn't have that much buff potential left. Yeah, I mean, when you look at the rankings, there's like really 2 main drivers of what makes a driver highly ranked. There is the raw coverage. Yeah, I mean, there's a skill as well. But there's mostly the raw coverage and there's mostly the ranked appearances. And so like older drivers in the top 10, if they're going up, it's generally because they're getting more appearances in ranked. So like, for example, like Donkey Kong Jr. SNES, we've just seen him in ranked a lot lately. So I would say for people like, looking at the top 10, looking at the top 15, it's also interesting to look into the data and look what's driving that. Say, is this based on them getting buffs, getting new coverage, or is it just them being in ranked a lot? I mean, like, I don't know exactly what her rank is, but Holidays, he's been in ranked a lot lately, which is a bit weird for an older driver. If she has been rising the ranks, which she probably has, it is just due to her being in ranked a lot. And just, I would say, be careful going forward. Just because something has been in ranked a lot doesn't mean it will be in ranked a lot. Yeah, that's. But otherwise, yeah, no real arguments with what you said there.
Good points there. Going into the top 10 carts, we got this Black Turbo Bardo, the Premium Challenge Queen. Definitely worth getting, and as we kind of already alluded to, Paintster number 2, Quebec Zoom Broom up 4 spots to number 3. The Romby Runner down 1 spot to number 4, unfortunately, especially for those Kong fans. But Silver King going up 3 spots. Yeah, so those week 2 carts that we are very familiar with, kind of going up and down there. Sunny Surf Sailor down 1 spot. Sakura Quickshaw, unfortunately, fallen 3 spots. And then Purple Bunny down 2 spots as well to number 8. Then we got the Crawley cart. Post-Halloween went up 4 spots to number 9. Rose Taxi up 6 spots to number 10. That one's a big surprise for me, that Rose Taxi. Dark Trickster up at number 11. Black Dozer at 12. I love the Black Dozer. Tanuki Cart, as we already alluded to, number 13. Good for that. The Grand Badwagon, number 14. And then the regular, the OG B-Dasher Mark II. What are your thoughts, Antilev, on this top 10 carts?
Looks okay to me. Yeah. No, not really a lot to talk about here. I think it's more or less no real surprises, I would say. The ones that are rising are the ones you expect to rise. Rose Taxi is maybe a bit of a, but it was already a very good card. And I mean, the thing is, between like the number 4 card and the number 8 card, there's not a lot of difference between them. I mean, they're all really good cards. You can take any of this 15 and invest in them and say, and not feel bad about it.
Yeah, really good point there. As for the gliders, we've already talked about it quite a lot. This 8-bit Fireflower, a massive glider. It's been a part of the top 10 for months now, but number 1 up 3 spots right now. Black Toe Beam Balloons down 1 spot. Black Great Sail, as we alluded to, with 31 total tracks, down 1 spot to number 3. Dream Glider, number 4, going up 4 spots right now. Might go up 3 more spots next tour. We'll see what happens. And then 8-bit Bullet Bill, unfortunately, it looked like it might have peaked. It is down 2 spots to number 5. Glinting Glider, down 1 spot to number 6. Starry Great Sail holding down number 7 despite being in a pack and seeing some love here in our All Cup ranking. Silver Manta Glider might have peaked as well. It's down 2 spots to number 8. And I think now that I think back about it, this is the one I used my tickets on. I double uncapped my level 7 Silver Manta Glider. I'm anticipating, though, although it is going down right now, I could foresee it going back up once we get to this winter tour, holiday tour, snow tour, whatever is coming. I mean, right now we are still kind of rounding out fall, starting to get into winter. Here in the United States, this is peak fall. Like we have Thanksgiving next week, and this is fall time still. So for us, winter is coming, and so I'm foreseeing things like the Romby Runner going back up, the Silver Manta Glider going back up. I think that's just a matter of time. We'll see what goes on. It is weird that they're buffing and bringing out all these things that have winter coverage right before the winter. Usually it's kind of it may not give us all that stuff prior. They usually give it in the tour of when all that funness is happening, but could be kind of similar to what we're talking about with Daisy Holiday Cheer and some of these other items that are getting buffs. I think even Reindeer Yoshi got a buff, and I think it might be kind of the same type of mantra. We got the Gold Home Field Glider holding down number 9, and then we got the Springtime Crane, as we alluded to earlier, up 5 spots to number 10. Yukata Ribbon, thank God, dropped to number 11. Flying Easel, number 12 on our list. We got the Sunset Balloons, and now a permanent item in 100 pipes, now at 13. Nabbit Oil Paper Umbrella. Hopefully you got that in one of the pipes last week. Now number 14 on our list, and then Rose Parasol, number 15 on our list. What are your thoughts on the gliders?
No real comments. I mean, yeah, I've more or less what I said before. I think the Dream Glider is going to be number one at some point. I have this on my free play accounts. I double capped it. It's the only glider I have double capped. I believe in it. Yeah. Other than that, I think the Glinting Glider is on my list to max out. I'm waiting a bit for it.
Do you have it at 6 right now? Is that what you're saying?
6 double capped, yeah. I mean, spending 5 tickets on a glider is
that's
really
a lot. But you've already put 5 in it to get there.
I did, yeah.
So you're halfway there. Yeah, I know that second half though is excruciating, especially with glider tickets being as rare as they are. I get that too.
I generally wait till I need it. If it's on like 6 or more tracks in ACR where I don't have a maxed out glider, then I'll do it. So it's just a matter of time.
Yeah. I always have a hard time myself. I always have a hard time double uncapping something that's not level 7. But I get it. It's been coin glider, and those are kind of controversial, but I get it. To your point earlier though about Yoshi Kangaroo, it's up 20 spots. Now it's number 24 on our list, and I expect that to continue to go up. It's kind of right now peaking, and I don't think it's truly peaked. I think it is peaking. It is like not stopped. Tanuki Mario up 17 spots to number 44. Mario Baseball up 15 spots to 21. I think the other ones, nothing really too surprising. That Penguin Mario, as we alluded to earlier. The Tanuki Rosalina, now at number 18. I think between the two Tanuki items, we've always kind of expected her to be the one that's going to keep going up, just because she was in a special pipe, and Nintendo, as we like to say, kind of gives those power buffs to those special items, especially if they're non-spotlight. It's actually no, I think she might have been a spotlight. Either way, I think
was not a spotlight.
She was not a spotlight. There you go. So we'll see what happens with her, but she's up to number 18. Yoshi Reindeer, man, I'm telling you, they like to buff things, but the season before they put them in pipes. That way, you actually want to pull on it, even though it's probably not going to see much value in the spring. But it makes complete sense. It's actually a smart business decision by Nintendo. Beach Happy, as we talked about, up 6 spots. Penguin Toad, he's now number 24 on our list, up 6 spots. Moving into karts, probably won't talk about all these. One of the ones that jumped up the highest, obviously, was that Pink B Dasher. Went up. Now it's changed 56 spots, so it's number 74 on our list. The Black Cat Cruiser is number 40th on our list right now, and then the Tanuki cars we alluded to, it actually went up 12 spots to number 13 on our list. Nothing else, too stand-out-ish, but we'll go into the gliders. The one that moved up the most was the Golden Wings, and I foresee this continuing to happen. It's now went up to 44 spots. It is number 28th on our list. I see this as a really valuable glider. As we talked about, is in that special pipe. Special pipe gets special treatment. That is probably the motto of this rundown, if you had to give one. The Magic Parasol went up 23 spots. We kind of already alluded to that. Looking down, Ship's Wheel went up 13 spots to number 26. That's good for there. And then your Rose Parasol went up 9 spots to number 15. Springtime Crane went up 5 spots to number 10. Gotta love the movers and shakers, man. I'm so glad that Tabor started to look at that. We kind of already talked about this already a little bit, but we have the All Cup ranking MVPs. So for those new to the program, these are the items that are used X amount of times. If you were to look at the 36 different tracks that are part of this full cup, you think about, 12 cups with 3 tracks each. That's a total of 36 tracks for All Cup ranking. And of that, the Starry Great Sale has 13, meaning it has more than half of, I guess if you think about it, there are 12 cups, and there's 13 tracks, meaning that it has over just a third of the tracks that are part of All Cup ranking. That is crazy. I don't think we've ever had any number quite that high. So massive there. Usually what happens is some of these top items are some of the new items, but this is one that's been around for a little bit. So you might have it at a good high level, or maybe have it at a medium level and interested in putting tickets on it. And this might be your time to go for this All Cup ranking. Go for top 100, go for top 1,000. I'm thinking about you, Frenzy fans, Gal. This might be your time. I know you guys were looking at this tour to potentially go for All Cup ranking. I hope you have the Starry Great sale up high. Hopefully we can hear about it on your channel. Definitely check out Frenzy fans. Mario Kart up got a total of 12 tracks this tour, as we kind of allude to. That is the 33%. But such a new item, you probably don't have it at the extremely high level unless you're a whale. I know John Boy already took it up to, I think, 7/11/90. So this might be a good tour for him. I know he's kind of been teetering on going for top 10 or not. This might be his potential. We'll see. Then we have the Toadhead Explorer 11. Same with the Lunar Cruiser. We have a couple items with 10 tracks this tour. Penguin Mario being obviously a heavy hitter. We had Fire Rosalina as well. And then you have the new Meteors. You have the Snow Crystals and the Galaxy Glider. Again, mostly new items or items in the pipe. So if you do go pull on that pipe and you end up getting the Snow Crystals from something like 4 to 6 or 7, might help you out in All Cup ranking. I might be in that situation. We'll see what happens. A couple items with 9 tracks. We got the Silver Bullet Blaster and the Manta Glider. I'm assuming these might be from some of these Air Fortress that are in there. Then we got a couple items with 8. We're talking about Peach Explorer, Ice Mario, Pink Gold Peach, and Shy Guy Gold. So one thing that stands out to me is Pink Gold Peach being basically the number 1 coin box driver for All Cup ranking. And I think for those people who would stand in your camp, Antilev, and say, coin box is by far the best skill, this isn't like a huge coin box All Cup ranking, is it?
There are 18 non-coin box tracks and 18 coin box tracks split.
Split 50-50. Like last tour, there was I think like 23, 24 tracks.
I don't remember, but it was a lot, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot, man. So to have it split 18, this is one of the lowest coin box tours, so you might be struggling. I know for me that's not a good thing.
Sorry to interrupt you,
Go for
but
it.
just as a point of reference, there are 181 non-city tracks in the game now. 119 of those have at least 1 coin box driver as top shelf, so almost 2/3. So you would expect in an average tour about 24 coin box tracks.
Wow. Yeah, so if you don't like Coinbox, this might be your All Cup ranking favorite tour. I know that there are a number of anti-Coinboxers out there, but none of them that I really know that go for All Cup ranking that much. Most of the people that hate Coinboxers are the non-whales. At least that's from my opinion. Anyway, moving on to Karts with 8 tracks. We're talking about the Black Turbo Birdo, the Romby Runner, got the Jet Cruiser, Gold, Cheap Snorkel, Koopa King. Surprised about the Koopa King. And then Silver Manta Glider, Glinting Glider, and then Penguin Wingtip. Penguin Wingtip obviously having a lot of the Rosalina Ice World. You have even some of the Vanilla Lake remix version. And then, of course, we have so many snow tracks, which is really odd. Again, it's so weird that they have all these snow tracks, and then I feel like we're going to get beat to death with them in the next couple tours with Holiday. And I'm starting to think now that after we're kind of, an hour and 30 minutes into this rundown, I'm starting to think that maybe they don't have a wintertime tour. I don't know. Maybe this is our wintertime tour. I don't know, man. Maybe we just have a holiday tour and then they just skip to write something else, maybe a city or something. I'm starting to wonder if that's the case. And so I might quote myself, because right now I'm starting to come to the realization, maybe this is a winter tour. Maybe this is our winter tour.
I think it's cold in space.
Good answer. Tabor, you're making Tabor proud. All right. So what are your thoughts on the All Cup ranking MVPs?
I mean, you more or less covered it. One thing I want to mention, you see, like, for example, the Meteor gliders with 10 tracks on all-up ranking coverage. They have only started with 8 tracks, so this is definitely including tracks which are doubled. The 2 new RTs we have twice, and the 3DS Rainbow Road RT we have twice. And also Spotlight and Cup boosts. I think there's 2 notable Cup boosts in this tour. Kamek is getting boosted to top shelf on 1 track in his Cup, and Pink Gold Peach is, I think, for like the 4th time getting Cup boosted on Rosalina's Ice World T. Just give her that track as a top shelf already. Come on, Nintendo, you know you want to. But yeah, one thing that might be interesting to look at is the karts and gliders from the week 2 pipes. See where they're cup boosted. I know if you're using, all those cups haven't been unlocked, but once they are, go through and see. Maybe there is a place where you have something which is normally a mid shelf, which turns out to be a top shelf, and it changes the way you approach it. I think we don't take a lot of care all the time to list those. I know in my tracker I don't account for doubles, I don't account for the boosts, and I need to think of a way to start doing that. That's it. Yeah,
awesome, man. Good. Moving into ranked tracks for this week, we got the Rainbow Road T, we have the Cheap Island T, and the Rainbow Road 2 RT. So kind of starting with the Rainbow Road T, we have a lot of things unlocked. We have Bowser Santa, which you probably have at level 3 or higher, or not have at all. Rarely will you have it just at like level 1 or level 2, but you might be the case. But it's probably going to be one that you see a lot. There's a lot of coin box drivers on this track though, so you have a lot of options there. Peachette at level 3, you're probably not going to use. Lemmy at level 6, this might be one that if you're struggling with coverage, you might be using Lemmy. He's certainly one that if you don't have a level 6, worth putting to 6. He's one of the most valuable commons in the game. As for cards, you got the Gold Cheap Snorkel at level 3, the Gold Pipe Frame at level 3, Holiday King at level 6, Lunar Cruiser at level 6, and then the Snow Skimmer at level 6. So a lot of options for this track, really across the board, but especially for carts. And then you have the 8-Bit Star at level 3, the Gold Crane at level 3, and then the Meteor Balloons at level 6. As for the Cheap Island T, you just got the Pinch Hitter at level 3 for a cart, and then for gliders you get the Home Field Glider at level 3, and then the Gold Home Field Glider at level 6. And then what you see is what you get with Rainbow Road 2 RT. Looking at next week, we got this, is that the Hammer Bro Cup? We got
Ice Bro.
Ice Bro. We got DK Summit T. Man, I do feel like this is the snow tour. This is a snow tour, a winter tour. Man, it has to be. I really truly believe that now. We got DK Summit T, Penguin Mario at level 6, Decal Streamliner at level 3. We got the Jet Cruiser at level 3, Black Penguin Slider at level 6. Romby Runner level 6, Surfmaster level 3, Snow Crystals at level 6. So I think this is one of the ones that you might be having some trouble. I know for myself. I think I'm using is it Koopa King has this track. I don't think this is a track where there's that many great options at carts. So here's a couple that you might be looking at. I'm thinking Aussie Kart using that Jet Cruiser. That's probably going to be his go-to. I don't know. I think those carts are probably the ones to be looking out for ranked for sure. The other tracks, you probably have some options already. The Rosalina Ice World RT, Pink Gold Meteors level 6, and that's it. I will say the Rosalina Ice World RT, it's not very RT-ish. I was expecting a little bit more. It is what it is. Rainbow Road RT, you got Peach Halloween level 3, Penguin Luigi level 3, Toadette Explorer level 3, Mario Halloween at level 6. Probably one you have pretty good coverage for. So many unlocks though, you never know. Lunar Cruiser level 3, Blue 7 at level 3, Royal level 3, the 2 supers there, and then Dark Trickster level 6, Parawing at 6, New Year's Kite at level 3, Pink Flower Glider at level 6. What are your thoughts on any of these unlocked ranked tracks? Any of these that you'll be using or kind of taking advantage of being unlocked?
I don't think I'm activating any unlocks. I mean, like on my main Rambi runner is one that I invested in like pretty early on. I think that's a pretty solid one. But other than that, maybe I did the blue 7 on my free to play to get a decent card for 3DS Rainbow Road RT. Otherwise, nothing really stands out to me now.
Okay, good to know. And then, so as we take into consideration which items are unlocked or unlocked, here are the ones that are in ranked the most this tour. We're talking about Shy Guy Gold. Obviously, he's in a pack. He's part of 3 times all level 1. Mario Satellaview, he's 3 times all obviously at level 1. And then Builder Toadette, same thing, all level 1. Penguin Mario, he's used 3 times, but he gets something unlocked at level 6, which we just talked about. Tanuki Mario twice. Really, actually, all these items I'm about to mention. Tanuki Mario, Rosalina Halloween, Pink Gold Peach, Peach Happy, and Ice Mario, all used 2 times, all at level 1. Then you have the Toadette Explorer and Peach Halloween being used twice, both with a level 1 and a level 3. So having just 1 track unlocked at level 3. As for the carts, you got the Lunar Cruiser. It is used 4 times. Antilev, if you need to throw tickets on it, man, I know you just got it. You've been probably enjoying using it so far, but 4 times for ranked, man. I don't know if those tracks are giving you any issues there, but it has something unlocked at level 3 and something locked at level 6, which we just discussed. Rose Taxi used 3 times. All this straightforward with what's unlocked at level 1. For Comet-Tail, Ice Blue Poltergeist, Black Turbo Birdo, Pink B-Dasher Mark II, and Kamek Zoom Broom, all used twice, all no unlocks at level 3 and 6. We do have the Decal Streamliner, as we alluded to, unlocked at level 3, but used twice. And then Rambi Runner and Dark Trickster both have something. Oh, and Black Penguin Slider have a unlocked track at level 6. So keep that in the back of your mind. I know a lot of Rambi runners will be excited about that. And then going into gliders, we have the Pink Gold Meteors used 4 times, 3 of which you just typically get once you have it. And then 1 item that's unlocked at 6, which you talked about in the last slide. Galaxy Glider, 3 items, all straightforward there. Meteor Balloons and the Snow Crystals, both with 3 tracks total, both with 1 track unlocked at level 6. Then we have the Dream Glider, your favorite glider there. Glinting Glider, your other favorite. And then Gold Tanuki Parafoil, Rainbow Star Shoot, and Rose Parasol, your other favorite. Oh, and then Silver Mantle Glider, another favorite of yours, and Golden Wing. No, I'm just joking with you. No, you have a lot of favorites, and they're a lot used in ranked. This is a good ranked probably tour for you, I would imagine, Antilev. And then
good investment advice.
Yeah. And then Planet Glider. All those I just mentioned with 2 total ranked tracks. All pretty straightforward. But the Pink Flower Glider, Super Glider, if I remember correctly, it has something unlocked at 6. So you might want to look at that for what it's worth. And I believe, as we mentioned earlier, it's the Rainbow Road RT.
Yes, it's one of the Rainbow Roads. Yeah.
Thoughts on some of the multiple uses? It looks like you're probably set for gliders, huh?
Yeah, it's I have pretty good loadouts. Yes, my drivers and carts on the new tracks are not great. I have a level 6 Gold Shy Guy, but other than that, I have to make some decisions. I think level 3 Cat Toad is my best option on the new Rosalina's Ice World. And I think for cards, I'm maybe actually going to put some into Dark Trickster. It's a nice big card. Yeah, I know it's an old one, but I got to do something. Yeah.
If I were you, though, I would look into that special Lunar Cruiser.
Oh, I have all but one of its tracks already covered by level 7. So
all right. We threw cold water on that one. Well, guys, we now got through an hour and 14 minutes. I think our goal was to try to hit hour and 45 minutes. I think the 2 hours might be a little too long for some. But feel free to let us know in the comments. But thank you guys so much for joining. If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe to the channel, take a look at our memberships. We're having a lot of fun. Like I said, I think at this point in time, some people have been playing the game for a really long time and trying to spice things up. Come look at our memberships. We're having fun all the time. We're doing different challenges. We got different competitions. Got a fantasy football league. We're having so much fun. Come join us. But Antilev, thanks for joining us, man. I'm so glad that you've come on for a second episode. Hopefully a third and fourth in the future, man. Why don't you say goodbye to your fans and give us a good send off?
Okay, bye guys, and good luck this week. And if you guys have any like requests or comments or criticisms or whatever, just people know me. I'm in the Discords, whatever. Just send me a message. Comment here on YouTube. Always looking what I can do to make things better. If there's some data stuff that you guys want to hear about, please tell me. I'll get it. I love messing around with numbers and spreadsheets. So.
You love some data, so I'm glad that you're with us, man, and excited for what's to come. We do have a Mario Hakama Driver of the Week coming up. Can't promise you when that'll be, but excited for what we're doing with the channel. And until Kart Talk, may the friends of luck be with you. See you guys.